up, Connor?
Hey, what's going on, Dan?
Adjust the camera. Yeah, now everything's in view. Nothing new.
You're looking very fit, Dan.
Am I?
What's the secret?
Listen, there is no secret. You just don't eat before you go to sleep.
Philly cheesesteaks. That's the secret, bro.
I ate a Philly cheesesteak before I went to sleep last night. Actually, no, I ate it at 1:30, 1:40 in the morning. But I was telling Connor I stayed up till 5 doing a film study and whatnot for UFC 262. So all in all, that's 3 hours of digestion of me sitting down, not laying down. So I think that's all. That's what you're supposed to do, right?
That's a healthy cheesesteak. If
any nutritionists in the comments, just let me know. Am I doing it right?
You're doing it right.
But yeah, for the most part, I got that out. Anyway, we're covering UFC 262.
Yeah, it's a Saturday. I'm feeling a little.
We're recording it a little early. We want it out there first. Yeah, honestly, we want it out there first.
Yeah, that's why we're doing this. Honestly, I'm not happy about it, but here we are.
Here we are. I'm flexing my 82%, or well, definitely 82.
Henry Cejudo.
What?
Do the Henry Cejudo. There he goes. There you go. 82%.
82% on pay-per-view cards, top to bottom. But
seriously, 82%. It's a big deal.
Seriously, go look at everybody else. They're sitting at 65.
Yeah, that's like average. Average is like.
I think 65 is good.
Yeah.
Where I'm at is like, I don't know. I don't think I could keep it up.
Yeah, that's dude.
But I plan to keep it up on this card.
That's good. Stay positive. All right, so you want to just get right into this?
Yeah. First fight.
Yeah, Kevin Aguilar versus Tucker Lutz. Aguilar 3-3 in the UFC on a 3-fight losing streak. Wins mostly by KO. He's got a minus 0.78 striking differential and only 37% striking accuracy. He gets caught up in like throwing his powerful shots, those knockout shots. He's taken on Tucker Lutz, 2-0 under the UFC umbrella, both contender series fights, and is now making his UFC debut. He's got a plus 1.53 striking differential over the course of his first 2 fights, and has one pro loss that came in his pro MMA career, and since then has gone on an 11-fight winning streak and hasn't lost since 2015.
Yeah, he's been going on a tear.
Yeah, he's not fighting nearly the competition of Aguilar, but that being said, I think Lutz has the better striking, and for a fight that I see staying on the feet, I'm gonna take Lutz.
You're gonna take Lutz in that?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say this is the one contender series fight that'll fuck me if I choose Lutz, because I was thinking Lutz.
What do you mean? Yeah.
These contender series guys always fucking come on and lose a decision.
Yeah, dude. They do a lot of times.
And
a lot of losers.
First fight. So I'm going to disagree with you. I think Kevin Aguilar is going on. He is on a 3-fight losing streak, but one of them is to Dan Ige, and he went to all 3 rounds with Dan Ige.
Right.
He got knocked out by Subera Tukogov, who's solid in his own right. Like Subera. I mean, he's coming off a split decision loss to Hakeem Dawoodi, but that fight really could have went either way.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's gotten a draw. He had a draw versus Lerone Murphy. Yeah, basically, Tukogov is pretty solid competition. I'm gonna take Aguilar by splitish, unanimous 29-28 decision.
That's fair.
I think he just vets him. He just,
Yeah, it's totally possible. I get it. We've seen so many people come off the contender series with hype and just totally get derailed right away. But I liked what I saw. He had 2 fights, both good.
Yeah. To say this, fucking sucks that Nate Diaz isn't fighting.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
But that kind of, I don't even know.
Dillashaw too.
Yeah, I mean, we'll get into that, but yeah. So next we got Gina Mazany versus Priscilla Cachoeira. This fight's gonna be interesting as well. Gina Mazany. I feel like every time. Well, actually, she was a solid pick to fight against Rachel Ostovich, and she got the win. You know, if you remember that was a pretty dope fight.
Yeah, dude, for sure.
But she's lost to Macy Chiasson. She got knocked out in a minute. Macy Chiasson's obviously a beast, so that's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
Then she went to King of the Cage for one fight. I'm not 100% sure what that's about, but then she went right back to the UFC. She's won since. She's fighting Priscilla Zombie Girl Cachoeira.
Good one.
And that's maybe one of the worst nicknames I've ever heard. Can we agree?
I mean, it's not. Yeah, I don't really like it. There might be some like language barrier problem going on there. I know the.
I want to be a zombie girl.
Zombie girl. I guess, yeah.
Yeah. So she started off her UFC career 0-3 with losses to Valentina Shevchenko. Gonna happen.
Yep.
Meatball Molly McCann and Luana Carolina, who just looked pretty good herself.
Yeah.
Picking up, I had Carolina in the fight over Botello. I don't know about you, but she won that fight.
Yeah, she did.
I did not bet for that, but
right.
It happens. And then she's coming off a pretty nasty knockout win over Shannon Dobson. She landed a beautiful uppercut, but like it was a KO, but it's listed as a KO, but at the same time, like it was like a flash KO. Like it didn't like destroy, like kill her in any means, you know.
Right.
That being said, Gina Mazany, I think, is more of the veteran in this fight, and she's just grizzled. Like she's like more of the grizzled veteran, and she's she lives in like the trenches, you know, like the third round where it's been a high pace for 2 rounds, and they've just been slugging it out. So yeah, I'm gonna take Gina Mazany in this fight. She just out veterans her, you know, just. Yeah. I think she's better. Like honestly, she's better everywhere. You know, like she does her thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna totally agree with you on this one, Dan. She's gonna have the 3-inch reach advantage in this fight. She averages 4 takedowns per fight too. This is Gina Mazany I'm talking about at 63% accuracy.
Yeah, she like the ground and pound over Rachel Ostovich. How many takedowns did she land in that fight?
7.
Yeah, she took her down the whole fucking time.
And she had a knockdown too. Like, so she was just all around. She's just super well rounded, like you said. It's great. And Priscilla Cachoeira, like she's got literally over a -3 striking differential. She gets hit a lot. There's almost 3 fights. 3 of her losses, all of her opponents have nearly, if not more than 100 significant strikes landed on her. Which, yeah, that's a lot. You're taking a lot of damage. And she's
zombie girl.
And she just likes to stand on the feet. She's not that well-rounded. She's more one-sided. And not to mention, she's used to fighting. I think her last fight was at 135. Wasn't it? Or no, I think just her early career was at 135, actually. She's fighting at 125 now.
Yeah, she fought Valentina. She fought Molly.
But I'm going veteran in this one, Dan. Gina Mazany.
Mazany in this one?
Totally. Although her chin, those KO losses worry me. Her chin, I don't know about, like, that's scary.
I mean, think about it. She got stopped by Macy Chiasson, who basically just, you know.
That's going to happen. She's one of the hardest hitting female fighters, I think.
Yeah. She's
at 125.
She's climbing her way up that ladder right now. And that knee to Julia Velia, like, you can, like, yeah, it was a stoppage, but it was like a perfectly placed knee by Julia Velia. And Julia Velia is no joke.
Yeah, she's for real.
Yeah, she had a setback in her last fight, but yeah, Julia Velia is a stud. She has a much better nickname. It's the Raging Panda.
That is better. That's
you know what I'm saying? Way better nickname.
Yeah, so she wins. No, we're both going Gina Mazany in this one.
Gina Mazany.
Yeah, nice. I like that. And going to move right into the next one. Jordan Wright, Jamie Pickett. Is that right, Dan?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to get right into it. Jordan Wright, 1-2 in the UFC, coming off a KO loss from Joaquin Buckley. All 11 of his pro wins have come by finish, 6 KOs, 5 subs. He's got a crazy minus 3.34 striking differential, gets hit a lot. But he hasn't been taken down in the UFC. But that was only 2 attempts on him.
Yeah.
And he only's attempted 1 takedown himself. So we haven't really seen that much from him in the UFC, his grappling. He's taken on.
He's not a grappler. He's a striker.
He is for sure. And you could tell he just doesn't. He avoids going to the ground. But he does have the subs. So
yeah.
But you're right. He prefers to stand on the feet, in my opinion. He's taken on Jamie Pickett, 1-3 under the UFC umbrella. Most recently coming off a unanimous decision loss from Tafon and Chukwi. Wins mostly by KO, but his striking has been questionable. He got outstrike in 3 out of the 4 of his UFC fights. And he's got a -2 striking differential. Both guys, I feel like someone is just getting finished in this fight. That's what I think. These guys are both taking a lot of damage on both sides. I think that Wright's the more well-rounded fighter, though, and I think this might be a nice rebound for him to get things going again.
Yeah. Do you remember his fight against Ike Villanueva? That fight was dope.
Then that was at 205. That's not even that was up a weight.
Like 190 or something.
Oh, is that right? Was it 190 catch weight? That's cool.
And then he lost to Joaquin Buckley. That's gonna happen though.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the Jamie Pickett fight, that'll be interesting. The odds I think are dead even, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, for real?
Let me check this. Let me double check this.
Double check this.
Yeah. Actually, no. Wait.
Yeah, Tapology, I'm getting an even.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's even.
-115, -110 in favor of Jamie Pickett. So
yeah, Jamie Pickett's being a little bit of a favorite.
Like microscopic. This is a pick'em.
Yeah, this is a pick'em. Yeah, it's a tough fight. It's a tough fight to choose. I think I'm gonna take Jamie Pickett in this fight. I've been bouncing back and forth, but his fight with I think he'll be able to take any of not spinning back kicks to the head, but that he likes to throw. But I think that Jordan Wright's got. I think not Jordan Wright. Fucking what am I saying? I think Jamie Pickett mostly just kind of outpoints him on the feet a little bit. Just so
slightly. I don't know.
Jordan Wright's still a little ripe. I think his head coach is Anthony Hardock though, and that's pretty great. And he also has trained at Jackson Wink. So this guy definitely has a future. But I don't know. I just can't actually. Yeah, you see how stay if you're willing to do the pick'em. This fight I'm just having so much trouble with.
Yeah, I get it.
In my notes, I'm I don't know if I want this is definitely one that I wouldn't bet on. Next fight I would bet on, but this fight it's just I'm gonna take Jamie Pickett, but
okay, you're gonna stick with Jamie Pickett.
Yeah, hey, I'm gonna stay with Jamie Pickett. I was almost bounced back to Wright, but you see, I'm bouncing back and forth. And I'll probably bounce back and forth a couple more times. But
yeah, I don't think I'll be betting on that one either. Honestly, I don't really trust either.
It's hard to trust either of them in this fight.
I mean, both guys, striking is questionable. I don't
know. Jordan Wright's got good strike. I think they both got good striking.
They get hit too much, man. Move around a little bit, bob and weave, something. But equal, they're taking a combined -5 striking differential. It's bet the under. That's what I'll say. So I think someone's going to get finished in this fight.
A chance.
There's a chance. All right, so we're disagreeing. I'm going Jordan Wright. Dan's going Jamie Pickett, and we're going to go right into the next one. Andrea Lee at Antonia Shevchenko. Is that it?
Yeah. Antonia Shevchenko's gotten actually a lot better recently. What's Andrea Lee's rank? I forgot to get that.
I got you, dog. Let me see. She's the 12th ranked female flyweight.
Yeah, it's like perfect competition for Shevchenko. Shevchenko, so like kind of like her last, she won her Contender Series fight back in 2018. She beat Gina Kim, who is no joke. She fought Roxanne Modafferi to a split decision. Lucy Pudilova, she finished. Then she fought Katlyn Chookagian, who's a top 3, definitely a top 5. But at the time, she was top 2 in the division, and she lost a unanimous decision. Katlyn Chookagian just took her down and shit. But she is coming off of a win over Ariane Lipski. And Ariane Lipski was killing it in her own right. So I'm just gonna side with Antonia Shevchenko pretty early in this. Andrea Lee is solid herself, but I feel like the Shevchenko sisters are no joke. And they're building her up like slowly but surely. I mean, Andrea Lee is coming off of 3 straight losses, but 2 of them are just split decisions to Joanne Calderwood and Lauren Murphy, and they're very highly ranked.
Top 10.
What?
Top 10.
Top 6, top 7, you know? Lauren Murphy's ranked 2, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, it's tough. I'm going to take, but I was gonna say it seems like her performances have been declining just a little bit. She lost that pretty one-sided unanimous decision to
Roxanne
Modafferi.
Yeah, and that Roxanne is nowhere near like the top end like anymore. She's older, only gets submissions. She's like you know what's coming from her.
She's like a gatekeeper.
Totally.
And she lost to the gatekeeper. So I think Shevchenko gets it done.
Yeah. Andrea Lee, 3-3 in UFC, 3-fight losing streak, like Dan said. She's got a plus 1.75 striking differential. Ground game is questionable, though, in my opinion. But she does have decent BJJ, but just gets taken down too much. And I think that's been the reason she's been losing fights as of recently. Like they kind of found a way to just take her down, and people have been doing that consistently, and she has nothing to. Her BJJ isn't like that elite for them to be worried to go for takedowns.
Andrea Lee, you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, not it's. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna disagree with you at all. And plus, Shevchenko's been taking people down and shit.
Oh yeah, exactly. She's expanding her game like tremendously.
Yeah.
She's taken on Shevchenko, 4-2 in the UFC, coming off that KO win over Ariane Lipski. She fights out of Tiger Muay Thai. She's got a plus 1.4 striking differential, some crisp kickboxing. And her ground game, like we said, it used to be like a little sketchy. As of recently, it's getting much better. I see this fight being
improving a lot, I think.
Yeah, like
at 36, she's just improving.
I thought that she was actually going to go down like for a while. I thought she was on the downslope, but I don't know about that anymore. I think Shevchenko has the advantage on the feet, so I'm going to go with Shevchenko. I also think that she's got
the advantages all around.
I think she might have it's just harder for me to say that. It's like a little bit more up in the air, but like I'm going Shevchenko in this one for sure.
Yeah. And that'll bring us into the next one. We're both on Shevchenko in that one.
Hell yeah.
Mike Grundy and Lando Venata.
Yeah, that's odd.
Take it away.
Lando Venata
Lando
Venata is the man. I hope he stays in the UFC forever. 2-1 in his last 5, coming off a really one-sided loss from Bobby Green. Now dropping down to featherweight. He's not the best fighter on the roster, but definitely has the fans on his side, and he doesn't have boring fights.
He got Tony Ferguson. I mean, that's what He's gonna tell his grandchildren.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
in a wheelchair, and they'll be like, "Oh, Grandpa's senile. He said he dropped Tony Ferguson." He's like, "No, that happened."
Well, now there's proof.
Yeah, but that throwing caution to the wind mentality, I think, is the reason why he loses his fights.
Yeah.
He's taken on Mike Grundy, 1-1 in the UFC, coming off a loss from Movsar Evloev. This is a really good striker versus grappler fight. Grundy, he's a wrestler, wins mostly by submission. I think this is a really good matchup for Grundy. I think he's able to get back on track. I think just his grappling will overpower Venato's stand-up.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going with.
I'm gonna take Grundy as well. I think he does, like he just probably he takes him down, you know?
Yeah, that striker grappler, and his grappling is high level. So yeah, I just think his
first fight in the not his first fight, his second fight in the UFC, his only loss in the UFC is to Movsar Evloev, who I think is no fucking joke and is a problem.
Oh, he's good, man.
That guy's a killer.
He is.
He beat Nick Lentz too. Like
he did. I picked Lentz in that too.
But yeah, it's Evloev is a beast. So
yeah,
be careful with this guy. Lando Venata, obviously, I love Lando Venata. I feel like all the fans are always tuning into his fights, but he seems to be on the wrong side of it. He's been defeated in
many,
yeah. Drakkar Close, David Tamer, Mark Diakis, and like you said, that fight with Bobby Green. So I think Mike Grundy gets it done. I hate to say it, but yeah. I love it. I love. It's hard not to love Lando Venata.
Yeah, for sure, fan favorite. It's. I'm curious to see what he looks like at a little bit lighter, at featherweight. You know, that's a big question, but yeah, no offense to him, Grundy all day.
For sure.
Yeah. All right, cool. We're agreeing. Both going Mike Grundy. Moving on to the next one, Matt Schnell versus Rogerio Bontorin. Take it away, Dan.
I got you. My bad. I had the wrong. So Matt Danger Schnell, 31, fighting at it's a flyweight fight, which at least it'll be quick. Not saying quick as in.
Yeah, it's gonna go it's gonna go the whole distance. The fight.
It's probably this fight's probably going to a decision. Yeah. Hang on. Pulling this up. Yeah. Yeah, Matt Schnell fights out of American Top Team too, which is pretty fucking dope. Rogerio Bontorin. I'll get into Matt Schnell in a minute. Bontorin's coming off of that crazy knockout to Cachoeira France, if you remember that.
Yeah.
I mean, we all remember that, where he took the lap around and then went to hit him again, but he had his back for a minute, you know? He almost finished Cachoeira France, who's one of the best in the division. And Matt Schnell's a minus 165 favorite over him, which kind of blows my mind. Matt Schnell, his last fight was against Tyson Nam. It was a close fight, but I think I had Tyson Nam in that fight.
Yeah, I had Schnell.
You had Schnell?
Yeah.
I could be thinking like this is off the top of the head at this point because my mind's boggled with fights, but what's it called? Yeah, just overall, like I think that Bontorin is like more on the upswing, and his jiu-jitsu is obviously fucking amazing. Like this guy off in his last fight, he's an underdog, but he almost finished Cachoeira France.
Yeah. Well, Matt Schnell's jiu-jitsu is top level too.
Yeah, so this fight's gonna be very intriguing. I think this is a pick'em's fight.
Yeah, this fight's close.
I'm gonna take Bontorin in this fight though. I think he's a solid underdog pick.
Yeah, I'm gonna disagree in this one. Matt Schnell 5-3 in the UFC, 4-1 in his last 5, coming off that split decision win over Tyson Nam. Has some really great jiu-jitsu, wins mostly by sub. He's going to have a 5.5-inch reach advantage too, taking on Rogerio Bontorin, 3-2 in the UFC, now in a 2-fight losing streak to Ray Borg and Kai France. We kind of see where he stands against a grappler in Ray Borg, got totally dominated, and we saw him against a striker, Kai France, where he, like you said, had his back for a little bit before he got the KO finish.
Yeah.
France, that is. He has a minus 0.93 striking differential. Also wins mostly by submission with 14 out of his 16 fights ending by finish. Both guys really good on the ground, like I said. I think that split, like their ground games are like even. I can't figure out like who's got the advantage, but I think Matt Schnell has the much better striking. So that's what I think is going to be the difference maker in this fight. So I'm going to go with Matt Schnell.
Yeah, I mean, Schnell's is a great pick. I just like Bontorin is like a solid underdog because he is a pretty solid underdog. You know?
Yeah, no, dude. If this fight goes to decision, like it's obvious it's going to be a close fight. You know, anything could happen
because both guys are going to have their moments. It's
right?
Nobody's dominating the fight by any means.
For sure, it's going to be a fun one to watch. But we're going to disagree. Dan's going Rogerio Bontorin. I'm going Matt Schnell. We're going to move right into the next one. Jacare Souza versus Andre Munoz. Jacare 1-4 in his last 5 on a 3-fight losing streak, but all to the best middleweight fighters in the division, in my opinion, or up there at least. And most recently coming off a brutal KO loss from Kevin Holland. He's almost 43 years old now. He's going to be at a 6-inch reach disadvantage when he's taking on Andre Munoz, who's 4-0 under the UFC umbrella, coming off his first round submission win over Bartosz Fabinski.
Yes, sir.
This fight is another one with 2 really great grapplers. I think this fight's going to be another close one, but both guys fight almost the same way, very similar. So like their skills are evenly matched. I'm going to have to go with the younger fighter with the sizable reach advantage in Munoz, but I think it's very similar to the last one, honestly, except just bigger guys.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. This is the second time in a row I'm taking him, but fuck it, I'm taking him. I'm taking Souza in this fight. I like you said, they both fight in a similar fashion.
For sure.
I think that Jacare's just got enough experience. I mean, I don't think this guy's submitting Jacare by any means, you know. And Jacare's one of the great, like, let's be real here. He's one of the greatest grapplers of all time. I know he's coming off of a brutal KO loss to Kevin Holland, but before that, he had a split decision loss to Jan Blachowicz at heavyweight. So he took all that, like, Jan could throw. So we definitely took some pretty big shots from. So I don't know. I think that a lot of the time when you have striker versus grappler. I mean, grappler versus grappler that fights on the feet the whole time.
Right.
And I think I'm gonna lean with the Jacare decision in that one. I see that happening.
Yeah.
2 underdogs in a row for me.
Dude, I love that. All right, so Dan's going Jacare. I'm going Andre Munoz, and we're gonna move right into the next one. Shea Burgos for Edson Barboza.
Take it away.
Take it away.
I said you want to take it away.
Oh, I'll take it away. Yeah, definitely. Edson Barboza, 2-3.
I feel like this is your favorite fight. You know, like
I'm a big Barboza. I love. He was one of the first fighters I really loved to watch and like became a fan of. But he's not gonna like hearing this. Edson Barboza, 2-3 in his last 5, coming off a win over Makwan Amirkhani. Also lost 2 back-to-back split decision fights that honestly could have gone either way. It was very close. From Paul Felder, and Dan Ige. Barboza is very well rounded, but I think he suffers from the fact that he's fought so much. There's so much tape on him.
People are so nasty though.
Yeah, dude. Oh my god, ridiculous. But like people have he's fought so much. I feel like people have found a way to counter his game. You know what I mean? Like when people suffer from that.
Yeah, I mean, you get enough tape on a guy, you know.
Exactly. And he's a young guy. You know, he's 31 years old, but he's got nearly 40 fights. He's taken on Shane Burgos, a really high-level volume striker.
30 fights. I believe.
30 fights?
He's 21-9, yeah.
Yeah, 30 fights, my bad. Really, Shane Burgos, a really high volume striker, averages 7 strikes per minute at 50% accuracy and a plus 1.5 striking differential. Not to mention 100% takedown accuracy and 89% takedown defense, and has stuffed 19
This
out of
guy's staying on the feet.
he stuffed 19 out of his last 23 takedowns attempted on him, only getting taken down 4 times over the course of his last 5 fights. It's sad to say, but I think Shane Burgos is able to beat Barboza in this.
I mean, Shane Burgos, when it comes to being a technical striker, can we agree that Barboza has the edge?
Yeah, for sure.
Like, without it, like
technically, he's like one of the most
like explain to me how does Shane Burgos fight? You know, he fucking kind of, you know, he is a great striker, but like a lot, like it's a decent amount of hooks and shit, you know, like I don't know. I think that I'm gonna take Barboza in this fight. Like it's weird. I'm taking. It used to be the exact opposite. Connor would take the younger guy. I would take the like.
Yeah. And dude, I'm gonna tell you, this is.
I would take the younger guy. Connor would take the older guy.
Yeah, dude, this is your 3rd underdog in a row.
Yeah, fuck it. I think that Barboza looked. I think he looked great in his last fight.
He's looked great in, I think, all 3 of his last fights, even though he lost 2.
His kicks are just plain nasty. I think he actually gets on the right side of a decision this time. Edson Barboza all day, not all day, but solid underdog pick. I'm going to Edson Barboza.
Like I would love to see that.
I'm a huge like, and I had to take the account. I had to take out the account of me being such a big Edson Barboza fan. I actually think he's gonna win this fight.
All right, that's good. That's actually refreshing to hear. I want him to do well, you know. I love the guy, but I don't know. I don't know, man.
We'll see.
We'll see. All right, we're disagreeing. Yeah. I'm going Shane Burgos. Dan's going Edson Barboza. Moving right into the next, Katlyn Chookagian versus Viviane Arujo. Dan, take it away.
All right, yeah. So we got Katlyn, blonde fighter, Chookagian.
Terrible nickname.
It's worse than Zombie Girl.
It is.
That had to do with like I think a language barrier.
This is just dumb.
This just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, you sound dumb.
Yeah.
Blonde fighter.
Everybody seems like with the Shevchenko fight too. Everybody seems to bet on Katlyn Chookagian losing on all of her fights. That's something that I wanted to say before we started. It seems like everybody like is always betting against Katlyn Chookagian.
I know I have in the past.
Yeah, like against Calvillo, against Shevchenko, a lot of people were like, "Oh, she's gonna lose back-to-back Shevchenko." Just shit that up, that I've noticed. We got Viviane Arujo, who's coming off of 2 pretty great wins over Montana De La Rosa and Roxanne Modafferi. She's 34 years old though, so like it's kind of time to make a run. I'm actually gonna side with Arujo in this fight, and I know I hate like disrespecting Chookagian. This is 4 underdogs in a row, actually.
I was just about to say that, dude. 4 underdogs in a row. You're fucking wild, man.
Listen, I
I love it, dude. You got balls.
There's so much tape on Chookagian. Everybody knows how she fights, and what's it called? Like, what was I gonna say? Fucking Arujo has been looking very good in her last couple fights. Her last 2, at least.
Yeah, I agree.
She was just taking down Roxanne at will.
Yeah, her grappling is nuts.
Yeah, so I'm curious to see what happens in this fight. But I'm probably gonna stay away from it money wise, but I will bet decision.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna agree with you in this one, Dan. Chookagian 3-2 in her last 5, only losing to Shevchenko.
And Arujo?
What's up?
You taking Arujo too?
Yeah.
All right, at least you make me feel a little bit better.
Yeah.
4 underdogs in a row.
Yeah, no. 4, that is That is wild, but I'm definitely agreeing with you on this one. She's most recently Chookagian, that is coming off a unanimous decision loss over Cynthia Calvillo. She's gone to decision in 12 of her 15 wins. She likes to stand up, but she does have some jiu-jitsu background as well. She's going to be taking on Viviane Arujo, 4-1 in her last 5. Her striking's pretty good, but her grappling, like Dan said before, is what sets her apart from Chookagian, in my opinion. Getting 2.3 takedowns to this fight with 64% takedown accuracy and 94% takedown defense, only being taken down once in her UFC career over the course of 5 fights. Yeah. Although Chookagian has fought far better competition, stylistically, this is not a good fight for her. And she was taken down 2 times and 3 times in her last 2 losses. So I think that's going to a similar game plan is going to be taken for Arujo. So yeah, I'm agreeing with you, Dan. I'm going with the slight underdog in Viviane Arujo.
Solid. I'd like to hear that. So next we got Edmund Shahbazyan, who's coming off of that brutal. Like everybody was saying Edmund Shahbazyan's the next thing. The thing is, his coach is Edmund Tarverdyan. Similar names, I know, but yeah, they both fuck. Like Shahbazyan has that potential, but Tarverdyan, I think, is holding him back. I think
I agree.
The MMA community is not a Tarverdyan fan. I am a Shahbazyan fan. It sucks that he works with him though.
Don't get you started on that dude. I won't even say his name. He's like Voldemort.
Literally.
Dan will go into a tirade.
Yeah, I could go on a tirade for like days on this guy, but yeah, I'm gonna take Hermansson in this fight. Shahbazyan has the ability to knock him out, like a flash knockout, head kick, something like that lands.
He's got power, man. He's got power on power.
Yeah, but other than that, I mean, Hermansson's submission game is just absolutely bonkers. It's insane. Like this guy submitted Gerald Meerschaert, David Branch, and finished Talis Leites with strikes. This was 2018. He also has a win over Jacare Souza back when Jacare Souza was still.
He still had a. Yeah, agreed.
And he submitted Kelvin Gastelum in a minute with that nasty heel hook. That just shows how.
That was quick. Don't blink when you watch that fight.
Yeah. Before that, he came off of a brutal knockout loss to Jared Cannonier. That'll happen. But I'm gonna take Jack Hermansson in this fight. Styles make fights, and I think that his style, we've all seen Hermansson's style. Like I'll even get the stats for a minute. He's not the greatest he's not the greatest wrestler, but if he gets the fight to the ground, which he's going to,
sick
Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Shahbazyan could keep it on the feet and just pick him up. Like Shahbazyan could pick him apart on the feet. That's the only issue. But the Joker's got like he's got a herky jerky. He's got like a herky jerky fighting motion. Like he throws strange strikes and whatnot. He's unorthodox. Like, but he's very like herky jerky. That's the best way I could fucking describe it. You know what I'm saying? He fucking is just he's all over the place.
Yeah.
So it's a tough guy to fight. And he definitely lost his last fight against Vettori, but that was a last second replacement.
Yeah.
So who was he originally slated to fight?
In which bout?
When Hermansson fought Vettori. It was in December.
Let me look.
What's it called? He was scheduled to fight Darren Till
and then Kevin Holland, and they both got canceled. And then Vettori was the third in line. Yeah, that's what it was.
And
so now that's tough. That's
what established Vettori as a top contender. It was that win, but this guy went over 3. Like, I'm sorry, he honestly did have fucking 3 opponents scratched, so he did technically prepare for 3 opponents.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Plus, he's got the vet. He's got 27. He's got 27 fights. He's got this. Just all around, he's got this.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you, Dan. Hermansson 3-2 in his last 5, losing to Marvin Vettori in his last time out, but a very exciting fight. He's got a plus 1.59 striking differential. Gets 2 takedowns per fight, 75% takedown defense, very well rounded, but excels on the ground for sure. But is no slouch on the feet whatsoever. He's going to be taking on Edmund Shahbazyan, 4-1 in his last 5 coming off his first career loss to Derek Brunson, and a one-sided KO loss, in my opinion. He was taken down four times, and Brunson outstruck his significant strikes 2-1. He's also another great grappler, averages 4 takedowns per fight, not to mention some very heavy hands, already with 3 first-round KOs in his UFC career. But this is not a good bounce-back fight for Shevchenko, considering Brunson, a high-level grappler like Hermanson, was able to take Shevchenko down at ease.
That fight was over in the second round.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go with the more experienced fighter and agree with you on in Hermanson and agree with you on this one, Dan.
Shevchenko has the capability of fighting for the belt at the very least.
Not right now.
If he changes camps.
Yeah, I agree. All right, so we're agreeing. We're both going Jack Hermanson. So next fight, we got Tony Ferguson versus Beneil Dariush, our co-main event. Tony Ferguson, 3-2 in his last 5 on a 2-fight losing streak. Hasn't really looked like himself in those 2 fights. And it happened like all of a sudden. He went from being like, I think like great, and then all of a sudden it was very questionable. He was like fighting Father Time for so long. I have a feeling that all those wars and those crazy training exercises over the years has finally caught up to him. On the other hand, you got Beneil Dariush, a guy who really was able to pull a 180 on his career and revitalize it.
Back in 2018, we're like, this guy's not that good.
And right.
Now look at him.
Yeah, he's won his last 6 in a row, 4 of those by finish. Ferguson obviously has fought better competition, but Dariush isn't a slouch at all, and he's not fighting slouches. He's got a plus 1.28 striking differential, gets 2 takedowns per fight with 81% takedown defense. Yeah. Hasn't been taken down in his last 7. In their primes, I would give this to Tony Ferguson without a doubt, but right now I have to go with Dariush.
All right, you kept it short and simple. I'm going to go into this a little bit.
Go in.
All right, so the question is in this fight, is Tony Ferguson washed? I vote no. I think he's still got it. I think that we'll get into Charles Oliveira in a minute, but Charlie Olives has really come into his own. I failed to account for that in the last fight, and that was more of me wishing that Tony Ferguson would win. This is more of me saying I'm wishing Tony Ferguson would win, and I think Tony Ferguson will win. This fight, I think will be. I don't think that this fight, it might hit the ground for a little bit, but I don't think Beneil Dariush, it's going to be standing for the most part. And Beneil Dariush's stand up, I get he's got those 2 crazy knockouts, but he's slow, man. He's slow.
Yeah.
He's slow.
Yeah, he is. He is. He doesn't have the fastest hands. He doesn't.
Yeah. And I think Tony Ferguson is just such, his takedown defense is shit. Let's be honest. That's been his real, that's an Achilles heel of his, but his submission game off his back is great.
Really good.
But when you're fighting a high-level grappler, Dariush is a high-level grappler. It makes it iffy. So if Dariush takes it to the ground, that's where Dariush will win the fight. It's gonna be him taking him down to the ground. But I think a majority of the fight is gonna be on the feet, and I think that Tony Ferguson is able to get it done on the feet. I think he has his typical Tony Ferguson fighting in a phone booth fashion, and I don't think Dariush is on that level, stand-up wise, at least. Dariush has that, he had those 2 crazy knockouts, and he can hit pretty fucking hard. Don't get me wrong, but Tony Ferguson's just he's a lot quicker still. I don't care how old is Tony Ferguson?
37.
Yeah, fucking, I don't think that he's just gonna he's gonna have no speed at all. He's gonna still have plenty of speed, and he's still definitely faster than Dariush. So I think he gets it done over Dariush in this fight. Yeah. I got my man Tony.
Yeah, I'm glad.
Flag in the sand.
I'm glad that you're picking Tony. Honestly, I just, like you said, I totally agree. The question is he done? Is he washed, or is he still got something left in the gas tank?
I think he's got a little. I don't know if he's got. I'm not gonna jinx it. Who knows? He could bounce back now that there's no Khabib in the division and go win gold.
You never know.
I don't think so, but we'll see.
All right, cool. So we're gonna.
The Gaethje fight was the one of the roughest nights in MMA I've ever.
Yeah, that was tough to watch. After all those years of that long ass fucking winning streak, just to get obliterated by Gaethje like that was tough to watch.
A last-second replacement, you know?
Yeah. Balls, though. He's got balls for doing that.
He dropped Tony Ferguson in that fight, though.
Yeah,
so I got Tony Ferguson knockout. Boom.
All right. Tony Ferguson knockout. Dan's going Tony Ferguson knockout. I'm going Beneil Dariush. We're gonna move on.
DARIUSH has a questionable chin too.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Like I know he didn't get knocked out by Drakkar Klose, but Drakkar Klose almost knocked him. Like he had him. He rocked him. He's been knocked out by Anthony Hernandez. Like no, Alexander Hernandez. Like he's been knocked out by multiple people. So yeah,
we've seen him. We've seen him lose by that often.
All right, please. I can't handle another loss.
Dan's going El Cucuy. I'm going Beneil Dariush. Right into the main event. Charles Oliveira versus Michael Chandler. Dan, take it away.
All right, yeah. So I'm gonna start with Charles Oliveira, and I'm gonna go and like it's a weird fight to have as a title fight. Number one,
it is.
Like I think Charles Oliveira number one deserved it. I don't think Michael Chandler deserved it.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
But anyway, I'm gonna go into Charles Oliveira real quick. He's got the most submissions in UFC history. Fact. He's a third-degree black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and he trains out of Shootbox Diego Lima, which I think is the best gym in Brazil. That's just me personally. And we've watched him really just grow up and shine in front of our very eyes. And his body frame has now became almost perfect for the division. He also has the highest finish rate in the UFC's history. I forgot to mention that. 10 times performance of the night. And he's really come into his own. That Tony Ferguson fight, you really saw him come into his own. Obviously, he's world-class on the ground, and his striking is now more than serviceable, like way more than serviceable. His striking's actually become super creative. Nasty right cross that took out Nick Lentz, I believe. Yeah, he has that. He did knock out Nick Lentz, no?
I believe he did.
Double checking. Yeah, nasty, just absolute nasty right cross that knocked him out. So his striking is out now nasty. I think it's pretty fucking nasty. Only loss since his return to lightweight was a TKO to Paul Felder, but he's improved a lot since then. And the Felder loss was in 2017. Since then, he's been on a killer win streak, beating Clay Guida, Christos Giagos, Jim Miller, David Tamer, Nick Lentz, Jared Gordon, Kevin Lee, and Tony Ferguson. A lot of people were expecting Kevin Lee to win that fight too, because they were just like, "Oh, this is the new Kevin Lee that's fighting out of, what's it called, TriStar." Like he might kill it there. But yeah, he's got newfound power in his striking as well, and he's fully he's fully at his prime. This is prime Oliveira. The blonde Oliveira is no joke. I hope he's blonde for the next fight. But his striking is very unorthodox. Loves the jumping strikes, jumping front kick, flying knees. Also has technical striking as well when he's just in the pocket. He's really been pressuring with his striking too. He's like that's part of the growing up in the before our eyes. Like he used to just be a submission artist. Now he's pressuring people with this technical striking. Like it's crazy. It's mind blowing, honestly. His transition game is crazy. Does not mind being on his back whatsoever. He's looking to get submissions and look to sweep or improve position every single time, or just even get up to his feet. Looks significantly better every time we see him, it looks like too. And he's just super well-rounded now. And if you leave a limb out there, he's going to snatch it. Kevin Lee's neck, for example. Tony Ferguson's arm in that fight, for example. Michael Chandler, on the other hand, he's coming off a stunning UFC debut against Dan Hooker, starching him in the first round. Solid chin, but he's been finished before. Same with Oliveira. NCAA Division I wrestling, we all know that. He packs some serious power in his strikes, but my question is, I don't think he's UFC championship caliber. He was champion for like a while over Bellator, but I don't know. I don't think he's on Patricio Pitbull's level in Bellator, and it's kind of fucked. But he did knock out Benson Henderson on his way out of Bellator, and he came into the UFC knocking out Dan Hooker, which is a mind-blowing feat. But at the end of the day, I think that Oliveira gets it done, and he gets that belt wrapped around his waist after a 10-year career in the UFC. It would just be a beautiful story.
It is a great story.
So I got Charlie Olives. Take it home.
All right. Oliveira, 8-fight winning streak. Like Dan said, crazy submission artist, really unorthodox striking, really hard to figure out. Out of 30 of his pro wins, he has finished 27 of those fights, 19 by sub. Has only gone to decision.
UFC.
Has only gone to decision 4 times in his entire career, which is 38 fights, with 7 out of his 8 losses coming by finish as well. So he does get finished a decent amount.
He's been submitted before too.
Yeah, he's been everything. He's been taken. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. He's going to be taking on Michael Chandler, who's 1-0 under in the UFC. Actually, has 2 Strikeforce fights from back in the day that were 2 wins. But he's coming off a KO victory over Dan Hooker, like Dan said, where he was able to KO him in the first round. He's 4-1 in his last 5, only losing to Patricio Pitbull, which I think so highly of him. I think he can beat most UFC fighters.
He'd be a top 5 UFC lightweight.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think Justin Gaethje beats every single one of these guys.
That's fair. He's a wrestler. He's got serious KO power, though, winning most of his fights by KO, 10 of them, and the next by submission, 7. I don't think that Oliveira will want to strike. This is the problem with this fight. I don't think Oliveira will want to strike too much with Chandler just because anything could happen because Chandler is such a hard hitter.
He is a hard hitter, but at the same time, I think that Charles has become a hard hitter himself.
He is. He's definitely got better.
The shoot box Diego Lima is like serious training.
But power wise, I'm giving the edge to Chandler for sure.
Oh yeah, but like I would even say technical striking when if they were into a 5-round kickboxing match, that would be very interesting too. And I see a lot of this fight staying on the feet, and it's going to go to the ground at times. But it's the question of who's on top. But I think Oliveira's got the advantage anyway. It hits the ground.
I think if he wants to take the fight to the ground too, he'll also run into trouble because Chandler is very hard to get to the ground.
Very short, stocky frames.
Yeah, and like so high, his wrestling is so high level. It is very tough. And even if he does take Chandler to the ground, Chandler hasn't been submitted in his entire career. He's got pretty good defense like that.
Charles Oliveira is the best I think he's the best submission artist in the UFC.
Well, we're gonna find out.
Damian and Maia are the 2 best ever, in my opinion.
Yeah, Damian Maia's up there
in the UFC at least.
I'm gonna go with Chandler in this one. I don't know if I'll be betting on it, but I'm just gonna sit back and enjoy the fireworks.
I'll be betting on Oliveira.
Really?
I'm confident that Oliveira gets it done.
Dude, that's why I'm a little sketched out because I'm actually confident in Michael Chandler. I really like what I see from Michael Chandler.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. It's just like I think Justin Gaethje said like who is Charles Oliveira even beaten to like get this far? I'm like, dude, he knocked out Jared Gordon. He knocked out Nick Lentz. He choked out Jim Miller. Like he fucking destroyed Tony Ferguson in a way we've never seen him like destroyed. It was different than the Gaethje fight. It was like a methodical just destruction of him. They got some really good guys with really good game plans down in Shootbox Diego Lima. I think that could end up being one of the gyms of the year in 2021 if he gets it done.
Yeah, that's fair to say. But yeah, I think the Oliveira is the slight favorite. We're looking at like around a minus 130.
I think it's because the true hardcore UFC fans are like, fucking Chandler doesn't deserve a fucking title shot. You know?
Which, for UFC, I don't think he honestly should. Like, in my opinion, I don't think he should be there.
You don't get a title shot after one fight.
But like his skills are there. Don't get me wrong; he's amazing. But like he didn't, in my opinion, I would give it to someone that has been in the UFC longer, more UFC fights. Gaethje, good example.
I don't know why Gaethje isn't fighting Oliveira for the belt. That's my question.
And you know what? Gaethje wins that fight.
Probably, yeah. Like I said, I think Gaethje beats all the above.
Yeah.
I think he can actually have a fairly decent title reign. Not saying 10 years or nothing, but like I think he could have a decent title run.
Yeah, I totally agree. But we're disagreeing. Dan's going Charlie Olives. I'm going Michael Chandler. And yeah, we're done.
Imagine Gaethje versus Poirier fighting again. This new discipline version of Gaethje. You know, it could be.
Dude.
The first fight was fireworks. This fight will be fireworks too.
Yeah, that'll be fun. I want to see get past this weekend. I want to see what happens, and then I want to see Gaethje get in there as soon as possible. Whoever wins,
Gaethje fights the winner.
Yeah.
And then maybe the winner of McGregor and Poirier gets the winner of that.
Right. Which I don't even want to get into that right now, but I think I'm going Poirier for that one. I don't know about you, Dan.
It's gonna be a tough one. But Conor McGregor's been super weird, like taking shots at Floyd. I think that like he called out Floyd for taking a money fight when McGregor did the exact same thing when he fought Floyd. So I'm like, he's just he might be getting paid less than you, but that's the first time he's ever been paid less than you. You know?
True.
It is. But yeah. UFC 262. Sucks we don't have Nate Diaz on the card, but we will get Nate Diaz back soon. The fight with Leon Edwards, we'll get into that and why. And my personal little what's it called? My conspiracy theory on the matter.
What?
I'll drop it now. I think that Nate Diaz is fighting Leon Edwards because of how cursed Leon Edwards is. He feels bad for him. He's like, this guy's a true fighter, and he just keeps getting fucked over time and time in and time out. So, and like the UFC was willing to see it, like with the Chimaev thing, have him fight Leon Edwards, and that's basically throwing in Leon Edwards as like a possible sacrificial lamb. The UFC trying to do that. So the UFC's doing him dirty, and then Nate Diaz is like, I want to fight Leon. So my conspiracy theory is that Nate Diaz, like he, one of the things he said is, I think he's doing this. I think the main reason he came back to do this fight was to get Charles Oliveira more recognition and to get Leon Edwards more recognition because they deserve it.
No, get your tinfoil hats ready. But damn with the conspiracies.
That's an MMA conspiracy. I'm gonna get people on.
Can you do that? Can you do that tirade again, but in an Alex Jones voice?
I can't do an Alex Jones voice.
Oh, here, if you have chemtrails, we're talking about vaccinations.
Oh man!
All right.
Let's not talk Alex Jones.
We should have a podcast strictly talking about Alex Jones. Maybe we'll have him on one of these podcasts.
Be like, Alex Jones, what do you think about this fight? Fucking chemtrails.
This guy, the frogs turning gay.
Like he's out of his mind.